Based on the historical data and forecast, Bitcoin demonstrates a strong upward trend. The price has consistently broken through resistance levels, and the forecast predicts continued gains. Considering the RSI, which peaked at 69.3 and is currently trending downwards, we should look for opportunities to enter during a slight pullback. The Bollinger Bands are widening, indicating increased volatility and potential for significant price movement. My strategy is to implement a momentum trading strategy with a focus on capitalizing on the upward trend. Specifically, I recommend entering a long position at $94,100. Given the recent upward momentum and the forecast, the stop loss should be set slightly below the support level at $93,400 to protect against unexpected downturns. The initial target price should be $98,600, aligning with the forecast for May 2, 2025. If the price continues to rise beyond this target, a second target price of $100,200 can be considered. This strategy combines technical indicators and forecast data to maximize potential returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Ethereum demonstrates a clear upward trend, breaking through the resistance level of $1,790. The RSI consistently fluctuates, indicating periods of both oversold and overbought conditions. However, the recent RSI values suggest a strengthening momentum. The Bollinger Bands show that the price is moving above the center line, indicating a bullish sentiment. Therefore, I recommend a long position strategy. We will enter a long position at $1,730, placing a stop-loss order at $1,620 to protect against potential downturns. The initial target price will be $1,840, aligning with the forecast for May 2, 2025. To maximize returns and manage risk, I propose a dynamic strategy that combines RSI and Bollinger Band signals. We will initially enter at $1,730 with a stop-loss at $1,620 and a target at $1,840. If the price reaches $1,840, we will adjust the stop-loss to the center of the Bollinger Bands, currently around $1,740, to secure profits and allow for further upside potential. If the RSI reaches 80, indicating overbought conditions, we will consider taking partial profits and reducing our position size. This adaptive approach will allow us to capitalize on the upward trend while mitigating downside risk and securing gains as the price appreciates. Based on the historical data and forecast, XRP shows a slight upward trend. The RSI consistently fluctuates around the 50 mark, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been narrowing recently, suggesting a period of consolidation. The forecast for the next week predicts a gradual increase, with prices ranging from $2.2 to $2.23. Considering these factors, I recommend a moderate long position strategy. Specifically, I suggest entering a long position at $2.17. Given the recent consolidation and the support level at $2.13, a stop-loss order should be placed at $2.11 to limit potential losses. The target price should be set at $2.24, aligning with the upper Bollinger Band and the forecast high. This strategy aims to capitalize on the predicted upward movement while mitigating risk with a conservative stop-loss. The expected profit is $2.24 plus $2.17 is equal to $0.07. Based on the historical data and forecast, BNB shows a slight upward trend with support at $592 and resistance at $636. The RSI fluctuates around 50, indicating neither overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands suggest potential volatility, with the price occasionally touching the upper band. Considering this, I propose a combined strategy incorporating RSI, Bollinger Bands, and support/resistance levels. We will initiate a long position when the RSI dips below 45, indicating a potential oversold condition, and the price is near the support level of $592. The entry price will be $592. To manage risk, place a stop-loss order at $587, slightly below the lower Bollinger Band. The initial target price will be $606, aligning with the forecast price for May 2, 2025, and the upper Bollinger Band. To maximize potential returns, we will implement a trailing stop-loss strategy. Once the price reaches $606, move the stop-loss to $599. If the price continues to rise, further adjust the stop-loss to break-even, $592. If the price retraces to $599, we will set a new target price of $618, near the resistance level. If the price reaches $618, move the stop-loss to $605. This dynamic approach allows us to capitalize on upward momentum while protecting profits and limiting losses. The final target price is $636, near the resistance level. Based on the historical data and forecast, Solana shows a clear uptrend. The price has consistently bounced off the support level of $146 and is approaching the resistance level of $152. The RSI values have been fluctuating between 50 and 66, indicating strengthening momentum. The forecast predicts a continued upward trajectory, with prices expected to reach $165. We will implement a combined strategy using RSI and Bollinger Bands. Initially, we will enter a long position at $151. A stop-loss will be set at $146 to limit potential losses. The initial target price will be $157, aligning with the upper Bollinger Band and the resistance level. Following the initial target, we will adjust our strategy based on the forecast. If the price reaches $157, we will move the stop-loss to $151 to secure profits. If the price continues to rise, we will set a second target at $161, based on the forecast. If the RSI reaches above 80, we will take partial profits and reduce our exposure. This dynamic approach allows us to capitalize on the upward trend while mitigating risk through strategic stop-loss adjustments and target levels. Based on the historical data and forecast, Dogecoin shows a clear upward trend, breaking through the resistance level of $0.183. The RSI consistently climbed from 48.8 to 60.8, indicating strengthening momentum. The Bollinger Bands have been widening, suggesting increased volatility and potential for further price movement. Considering the forecast, the price is expected to continue rising to $0.19. Therefore, I recommend a long position with an entry price of $0.177. To manage risk, set a stop-loss at $0.168, which aligns with the support level and the bottom of the Bollinger Bands. The target price should be set at $0.186, based on the forecast and the upper Bollinger Band. This strategy combines trend analysis, momentum indicators, RSI, and volatility assessment, Bollinger Bands, for a balanced approach. If the price reaches $0.186, consider taking profits. If the price falls to $0.168, the stop-loss will be triggered, limiting potential losses. This portfolio prioritizes capitalizing on the identified upward trend while incorporating risk management techniques to protect capital. Based on the historical data and forecast, Cardano shows a clear upward trend, breaking through the resistance price of $0.722 on April 23, 2025. The RSI indicates that the asset is approaching the overbought territory, with a value of 60.5 on April 25, 2025. The Bollinger Bands are widening, suggesting increased volatility and potential for further price movement. Therefore, I recommend a long position with an entry price of $0.693 on April 26, 2025, coinciding with the forecast price and a slight pullback. A stop-loss should be placed at $0.65 to limit potential losses if the price reverses, and a target price of $0.759, aligning with the forecast for May 2, 2025, should be set to secure profits. To refine this strategy, we can incorporate the RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI falls below 30, indicating an oversold condition, we can consider entering a long position. Conversely, if the RSI reaches 80 or above, suggesting an overbought condition, we can consider taking profits or initiating a short position. The Bollinger Bands can be used to anticipate price breakouts. If the price breaks above the upper band, it suggests a strong upward momentum, reinforcing the long position. If the price falls below the lower band, it indicates a potential downward trend, prompting a reassessment of the strategy. Combining these indicators, the portfolio will be more efficient. Based on the historical data and forecast, TRON shows a slightly downward trend, consolidating between 0.239 and 0.248. The RSI consistently hovers around 50 to 66, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands are narrowing, suggesting decreasing volatility. Considering this, I propose a cautious, range-bound strategy. We will initiate a long position at $0.243, coinciding with the forecast price on May 2, 2025, and a lower Bollinger Band. Place a stop-loss order at $0.239, right at the support level, to mitigate potential losses if the price breaks down. Set a target price of $0.248, aligning with the resistance level, to capitalize on potential upward movement within the established range. To enhance efficiency, I recommend a portfolio that combines the RSI, Bollinger Bands, and support/resistance strategies. The RSI strategy will be our primary signal generator. When the RSI falls below 20, we'll consider a long position, and when it exceeds 80, we'll consider a short position. The Bollinger Band strategy will confirm the RSI signals. If the price touches the lower Bollinger Band and the RSI is oversold, it's a strong buy signal. Conversely, if the price touches the upper Bollinger Band and the RSI is overbought, it's a sell signal. The support and resistance levels will act as our price targets and stop-loss levels, respectively. This integrated approach should optimize returns while managing risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, SUI exhibits a strong uptrend. The price has been consistently rising, breaking through previous resistance levels, and the forecast suggests continued upward momentum. The RSI values have been increasing, indicating strengthening bullish sentiment, with recent readings above 50. The Bollinger Bands are expanding, confirming the increasing volatility and potential for further price movement. Considering these factors, I recommend a long position strategy. Specifically, enter a long position at $3.03. Place a stop-loss order at $2.79, just below the support level, to limit potential losses. Set a target price at $3.95, aligning with the final forecast price for the week. To refine this strategy, incorporate RSI signals. If the RSI dips below 30, indicating an oversold condition, consider adding to the position at $1.42. Conversely, if the RSI reaches 70 or above, signaling an overbought condition, consider taking partial profits around $3.23. This dynamic approach, combining trend analysis with RSI-based adjustments, aims to maximize returns while managing risk effectively. The core strategy remains a long position with a primary target of $3.95, supported by a robust stop-loss at $2.79. Based on the historical data and forecast, Chainlink demonstrates a clear uptrend, breaking through the resistance level of $15.1. The RSI consistently rises, nearing the overbought level of 80, indicating strong buying pressure. The Bollinger Bands are widening, suggesting increased volatility and potential for further price movement. Considering these factors, I propose a long position strategy with an entry price of $14.7. A stop-loss should be set at $14.4 to mitigate potential losses if the trend reverses. The initial target price is $16.1, aligning with the forecast for May 2, 2025. To refine the strategy, I'll incorporate RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI dips below 20, indicating an oversold condition, a long position can be initiated with a stop-loss at $13.8 and a target price of $15.7. Conversely, if the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, it signals a potential buying opportunity with an entry price of $14.6, a stop-loss at $14.2, and a target price of $15.8. Combining these signals, the most efficient portfolio would be a long position with an entry price of $14.7, a stop-loss at $14.4, and a target price of $16.1, capitalizing on the established uptrend and forecast price movement. Based on the historical data and forecast, JasmyCoin shows a clear upward trend. The price has been fluctuating within a range but consistently testing the upper Bollinger Band, suggesting bullish momentum. The RSI values, while occasionally dipping below 60, have generally remained above 50, indicating a healthy bullish sentiment. The forecast for the next week predicts continued price increases, reaching $0.0206. Considering these factors, I recommend a long position strategy. We will enter a long position at $0.018, coinciding with the start of the forecast period. A stop-loss order will be placed at $0.017, just below the support level, to mitigate potential losses if the trend reverses. Our initial target price will be $0.0194, aligning with the forecast peak within the first few days. To maximize potential returns, we will implement a dynamic target price strategy based on the Bollinger Bands. If the price reaches $0.0194, we will move the stop-loss to the entry price of $0.018, securing a profit. We will then trail the stop-loss, keeping it just below the lower Bollinger Band. If the price continues to rise and touches $0.0206, we will take partial profits and move the stop-loss to break even. This approach balances capturing substantial gains with protecting capital, capitalizing on the projected upward trend while managing risk effectively. This portfolio combines the RSI, Bollinger Bands, and support and resistance levels to create a robust and adaptable investment strategy. Based on the historical data and forecast, MultiversX shows a clear upward trend, breaking through the resistance level of $18.8. The RSI consistently moves above 40, indicating positive momentum, and the forecast prices for the next week are all above $16, further reinforcing the bullish outlook. The Bollinger Bands have been expanding, suggesting increased volatility and potential for higher returns. Therefore, my strategy is to implement a long position, capitalizing on this upward trend. I recommend entering a long position at $16.1, placing a stop-loss order at $15.7, just below the center of the Bollinger Bands to mitigate risk, and setting a target price of $18.3, aligning with the forecast price for the week. To refine this strategy, I will integrate the RSI indicator. If the RSI falls below $37, which indicates an oversold condition, I will consider entering a long position at the subsequent price, but with a tighter stop-loss at $15.4. Conversely, if the RSI exceeds $57.6, suggesting an overbought condition, I will avoid entering a new long position and wait for a potential pullback. The combined strategy, utilizing both Bollinger Bands and RSI, offers a more robust approach to maximizing returns while managing risk. This portfolio will be the most efficient of the three strategies. Based on the historical data and forecast, eCash exhibits an upward trend with increasing prices over the past 2 weeks. The RSI consistently moves above 50, indicating bullish momentum, and the forecast prices predict further increases. The support price of $0.0000230 acts as a floor, while the resistance price of $0.0000250 presents a potential ceiling. Considering the RSI and Bollinger Bands, I propose a strategy focused on capitalizing on upward movements. We will implement a buy strategy when the RSI dips below 50, aiming for a target price near the resistance level of $0.0000250. Specifically, I recommend entering a long position at $0.0000230 when the RSI falls below 50. The stop-loss should be set at $0.0000220 to mitigate potential losses if the price reverses. The target price for this trade is $0.0000250, aligning with the resistance level. This strategy combines the trend analysis, RSI signals, and support/resistance levels to maximize potential returns while managing risk effectively. The predicted price movement based on the forecast data suggests a high probability of reaching the target price, making this a favorable investment opportunity. Based on the historical data and forecast, official Trump exhibits a strong upward trend, particularly evident in the recent surge to $13.4. The RSI consistently moved above 30, indicating a shift from oversold to a bullish momentum. The forecast predicts further increases, reaching $14.7 within the next week. Considering these factors, I recommend a long position strategy. We will enter a long position at $11.4, placing a stop loss at $10.6 to protect against potential downside risks. The initial target price will be $13.8, aiming to capitalize on the projected upward movement. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate Bollinger Bands. When the price touches the lower band, it suggests a potential buying opportunity, aligning with our RSI readings. If the price breaks above the upper band, it signals a potential overbought condition, prompting us to consider taking profits or tightening our stop loss. Therefore, if the price reaches $14.7, we will adjust the target price to $14 and consider a partial profit-taking strategy. This combined RSI and Bollinger Bands approach aims to maximize returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, FLOKI demonstrates a clear upward trend. The price has been consistently increasing over the past 2 weeks, with the forecast indicating continued growth. The RSI is trending upwards, currently at 73.4, suggesting a strong bullish momentum. The Bollinger Bands are widening, indicating increased volatility and potential for further price movement. Given the current conditions, I recommend a long position strategy. We will enter a long position at $0.0000719 with a stop loss placed slightly below the lower Bollinger Band at $0.0000410. Our target price will be $0.0000863, aligning with the forecast for May 2, 2025. This strategy leverages the upward trend, utilizes RSI to confirm momentum, and employs Bollinger Bands to manage risk. To refine this strategy, we will incorporate a dynamic adjustment based on RSI levels. If the price reaches the target price of $0.0000863 and the RSI falls below 80, we will consider taking partial profits and adjusting the stop loss to protect gains. Conversely, if the RSI approaches 80 before reaching the target price, we may consider tightening the stop loss slightly to secure profits. This adaptive approach aims to maximize returns while mitigating potential losses in a volatile market. The portfolio will be 70% long position, 20% partial profit taking, and 10% stop loss adjustment. Based on the historical data and forecast, Worldcoin shows a clear upward trend. The price has been consistently moving higher, supported by increasing RSI values, which reached 72.5 on April 25, 2025. The forecast data for the next week further reinforces this trend, predicting a continued rise with prices reaching $1.1. Considering the current RSI of 72.5, which is above the 80 overbought level, a slight pullback is possible. However, the overall momentum suggests a bullish outlook. I recommend a long position with an entry price of $0.924. Set a stop loss at $0.887, just below the lower Bollinger Band, to protect against a potential short-term decline. The initial target price should be $1.05, aligning with the forecast price for May 2, 2025. To refine the strategy, we can incorporate Bollinger Bands. When the price touches the upper band, it indicates an overbought condition, suggesting a potential pullback. Conversely, touching the lower band signals an oversold condition, hinting at a potential bounce. Given the current RSI and the forecast, I suggest a modified strategy. Enter a long position at $0.924, place a stop loss at $0.887, and set a first target at $1.05. If the price reaches $1.05, evaluate the RSI. If RSI is still above 80, consider trailing the stop loss to $0.983 and setting a second target at $1.1. This approach balances capitalizing on the upward trend while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Dogwifhat shows a clear upward trend. The price has been consistently rising, breaking through resistance levels and exhibiting strong momentum. The RSI consistently above 50 indicates bullish sentiment, with values nearing overbought territory in recent days. The Bollinger Bands have been widening, suggesting increased volatility and potentially further price movement. Considering these factors, I recommend a long-term investment strategy focusing on capitalizing on the ongoing uptrend. My strategy involves a phased entry approach. Initially, enter a long position at $0.554, with a stop-loss placed at $0.558 to mitigate potential downside risk. The first target price is $0.626, coinciding with a forecast high and a significant resistance level. If the price reaches $0.626, consider taking partial profits while maintaining a portion of the position. For the remaining shares, raise the stop-loss to the entry price of $0.554 and set a second target price at $0.681, aligning with the final forecast price. This phased approach allows for flexibility and maximizes potential returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Solayer shows a clear upward trend, especially with the forecast prices consistently above the recent close prices. The RSI values have fluctuated between 60 and 75, indicating periods of both bullish and neutral momentum, but generally trending upwards. The Bollinger Bands have been widening, suggesting increased volatility and potential for price movement. Considering these factors, I propose a long-term investment strategy focusing on capitalizing on the upward trend. We'll utilize a combination of RSI and Bollinger Band signals, aiming for high returns while managing risk. Our strategy will involve entering long positions when the price dips towards the lower Bollinger Band and the RSI falls below 60, indicating a potential oversold condition. For example, if the price retraces to $2.41 and the RSI is near 58, we initiate a buy order. The stop-loss will be set just below the lower Bollinger Band, around $2.35, to protect against unexpected downturns. The initial target price will be set at $2.69, aligning with the forecast price for May 1, 2025. If the price continues to rise, we'll adjust the target price to $2.84, the forecast price for May 2, 2025. This layered approach allows us to capture significant gains while mitigating potential losses, leveraging both technical indicators and future forecasts for optimal results. Based on the historical data and forecast, Pudgy Penguins shows a clear upward trend. The price has been steadily increasing from $0.00452 to $0.00866 over the past 2 weeks, and the forecast predicts further growth to $0.0091. The RSI consistently above 50 indicates increasing buying pressure, and the Bollinger Bands are expanding, suggesting volatility and potential for further price movement. Given this bullish outlook, I recommend a long position strategy. We will enter a long position at $0.00703. The stop loss will be set just below the lower Bollinger Band at $0.0065, providing a buffer against short-term fluctuations. Our target price will be $0.0086, aligning with the recent resistance level and the forecast high. To refine the strategy, we'll incorporate RSI signals. When the RSI dips below 40, indicating an oversold condition, it's a favorable entry point. Conversely, when the RSI exceeds 60, it suggests overbought territory and a potential pullback. In this case, we will use the long position strategy, entering at $0.00703 with a stop loss at $0.0065 and a target price of $0.0086. This approach combines trend analysis, volatility assessment, and momentum indicators for a balanced and high-potential investment. The combination of these strategies maximizes the probability of achieving high returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Bonk shows a generally upward trend, particularly evident in the recent price surge and the projected increase over the next week. The RSI consistently climbed above 50, reaching 76.5 on April 25, indicating strong bullish momentum. Furthermore, the forecast suggests a continued rise, with prices moving from $0.0000166 to $0.0000209 over the next week. Considering the support level at $0.0000117 and the resistance at $0.0000293, a long position appears favorable. I recommend entering a long position at $0.00000166, placing a stop-loss order at $0.000156 to protect against potential pullbacks. The initial target price should be $0.000189, aligning with the forecast for May 2, 2025. To refine this strategy, we incorporate Bollinger Bands. The price consistently trading near the upper band suggests an overbought condition, but the upward trend suggests this is a continuation rather than a reversal. Therefore, I suggest a staggered approach. After reaching the initial target of $0.000189, consider moving the stop-loss to break even to secure profits. A second target could be set at $0.000209, the forecast price for May 2, 2025. This combined RSI and Bollinger Band strategy, with clear entry, stop-loss, and target prices, aims to capitalize on the current bullish trend while managing risk effectively.